And a very warm welcome from me as well to day 2 of India Global Week. My name is Edie Lush. What an incredible response we've seen to Prime Minister Modi's address yesterday when he praised the excellent work of India Inc. in bringing India's opportunities to a global audience and congratulated India Inc. for strengthening UK-India ties. As Manoj mentioned, we're all about building winning partnerships, celebrating our shared values and ambitions. And we are sharing those with 10,000 registered participants today from 69 different countries, and the numbers continue to grow. If you'd like to share what you hear and see on social media, use our hashtag, #BeTheRevival, and do tag us, India Incorp. So now we're going to our next session. Last year, in the wake of Brexit, the UK Foreign Affairs Committee produced a report called Building Bridges, Reawakening UK-India Ties. It highlighted a number of areas of potential for the partnership between the UK and India to grow. Since then, however, we have had the largest threat to the global economy since at least the Second World War. We're all looking for ways to build back better. And at a time when some countries are looking inwards, how can we boost our most important ties? How do we refresh UK-India relations now? What can we achieve quickly to get the momentum going, if indeed it has paused? And is a trade deal in sight? So we've got a fantastic panel for you in a moment. But first of all, I am delighted to welcome to the digital stage the Right Honourable Liz Truss. She's the UK International Trade Secretary. After her, we'll hear from Gayatri Kumar, Alderman William Russell, Mohit Joshi, and Richard Heal. So over to Liz now, but just to mention a few things about her previous roles. She was Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Lord Chancellor and Secretary of State for Justice, Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. And I'm really interested to hear what she says as we come out blinking into the sunlight from this world in which we are learning to live with COVID on a global stage and looking towards reigniting our relationship with some of our key partners. So Liz, over to you.
Well, thank you very much for the introduction. It's brilliant to be speaking here on India Global Week. And of course, India is a huge friend and ally of the United Kingdom. And I think we have huge opportunities together as the 5th and 6th largest economy in the world, both specialising in areas like technology, pharmaceuticals, far more. But both, of course, leading and sharing many values too. So there are huge opportunities together. And as the UK leaves the transition period with the EU, we clearly have a large opportunity with our own independent trade policy. We're setting our own independent tariffs for the first time in years, and we are opening up to the rest of the world. So we've got a simpler, lower global tariff. We're in conversations with a number of other nations. We see India as an absolutely key partner as we develop that strategy. And our ambition for the United Kingdom to be the hub of a network of free trade agreements. What that means is giving our businesses lower barriers and opportunities to trade. It means giving businesses in other nations access to the UK market. What it means is improving our prosperity and improving global prosperity as well. And the UK has always been a champion of free trade. We've promoted that across the world, and we want to take up that role again, working with like-minded allies. We want to see a fair, free, rules-based trading system. That, of course, means form of the World Trade Organization, but it also means signing trade agreements with like-minded allies, and it means deepening those economic partnerships. And you mentioned COVID, which of course is affecting all of our lives as well. And during the COVID crisis, I've been working with fellow trade ministers to keep trade flowing. Had a number of meetings of the G20 trade ministers to agree that vital supplies must be kept going, and also that we should resist the lure of protectionism, instead making sure that we are keeping the trading system alive. In fact, we're building on that, because as we emerge from COVID, it's vitally important we don't turn to protectionism as the solution. Instead, we look to work together, use mutual support and cooperation to deal with this terrible disease, but also to. And Minister Goyal of India has been a huge ally in this work. First of all, in helping get vital supplies into the United Kingdom, whether that's been paracetamol or protective equipment, but also as a voice at G20, working with the UK to make sure back the global trading system. And I'm very excited by the opportunity to work closely with India over the coming years to build up our trading relationship. So our total bilateral trade at the moment is 20 billion. It increased almost 12% on the previous year. But I think there's so much more potential for us as trading partners. First of all, we've got very strong links in areas like research. So the British vaccine is being co-developed by Oxford University and India's Serum Institute, being manufactured in India. That will reach 1 billion people across the developing world if successful. I mentioned earlier tech and IT, an area that both countries are leading in. And we are keen to work with Prime Minister Modi to help make India the pharmacy of the world. India is returning to the UN Security Council next year and is taking up the G20 presidency in 2022. And again, we see that as a strong opportunity. But on the trade side, we are not letting grass grow under our feet. Following our positive discussions on trade during the coronavirus crisis, we are now working together on helping both the UK and India through the economic recovery period. And because of the difficulties of travelling and the requirements of social distancing, much of the work that the International Trade Department is doing now virtual. So we're conducting our trade negotiations virtually. We're also conducting a joint economic committee with India virtually, due to take place in the next weeks. This will be my first JETCO with India. What it will be is an opportunity to take stock of progress we've made as trading partners and look at the barriers stopping us reaching our potential. We'll have the ministerial teams from the Indian side and the UK side meeting together virtually about how we address that. What I want us to develop is a roadmap, a framework, relationship. We're going to keep all options on the table, including the possibility of a free trade agreement at some point in the future. I do believe that there's huge amounts that India and the UK can achieve working together. We have many common interests. We have huge shared values. We have a very positive working relationship, very much JETCO as the next stage in developing that relationship. And I'm looking forward to working with the Indian government